Welcome back to the channel. This 1971 Jeep J4000 has not ran in almost a decade. I bought it from the original owner who just lives about 2 miles from us. And he says it has 83,000 original miles. He bought it in New York, drove it out west here to Arizona, and it's just been kind of like a daily driver, a weekend hay getter. This is gonna be a 3-part series. This video, we're just gonna get it running. Next video, interior restoration. Third video, we're gonna, spiff up the outside a little bit, give it a lift kit maybe, bigger tires. We'll see where it takes us. I don't know where I'm gonna start yet, but there's a rebuild kit for the carburetor on the bench seat and an empty can of carb spray, so hint, hint, maybe that's a good place to start. What? You're getting me all dirty, buddy. Yeah. Arizona has not treated this truck very well. It looks like burnt toast. So do you, Pyro. Supposedly there was a fire, and that's what that's from. That's kind of a weird shape. So it's a 4-wheel drive J4000 camper special. It has the AMC 360 V8, Dana 60 rear end, Dana 44 fronts. I think it has a turbo 400 3-speed. I love all of these interesting body lines. That's pretty creative. 8-foot bed. The previous owner added 2 additional tanks on each side. It has just about the ugliest bumper I've ever seen. I might have to make a new one of those. There's the 2 additional gas tanks that they added. Arizona is not nice to interiors, that is for sure. I don't know how old this carb kit is. It might be all dry rotted. I don't know if I'm gonna use that one. Yeah. This thing is filthy. That broke off. So this is the AMC 360. I think it's a 4-barrel. I think they cross-threaded this wing nut. Oh my Lord. This is a nice shelf for tools. Four-barrel. That thing looks absolutely disgusting. That is some black oil. Smells like fuel. I kind of want to just toss a battery in it and see what it does. Maybe we'll catch it on fire again. I think this is actually my first Jeep. I've always wanted a Wrangler. I actually named my dog Wrangler. Boy, was that empty. I kind of just want to crank it, but with the 3 gas tanks, I don't know how old the fuel is. I don't know which fuel tank it's drawing from. I didn't even see a switch in there. I'm not sure where they would put the switch for the fuel tanks. It's kind of cool. The pedal says Jeep on it. I like that. I take that back. That's looking like a 2-barrel. Yep, that's a 2-barrel. Well, shoot. I thought it had a 4-barrel. Maybe it's a good time to just swap it out for a 4-barrel. I don't mind that idea at all. It actually has a fuel filter right here, so it's probably not too dangerous to just try and start it. It smells like varnish. I was just poking around in here, and I think I found the switch for the tanks. Left auxiliary, main. What's that say? Right. So we're on the right tank right now. So main tank, we're missing the filler neck, which that might be it right there. And then left and right. I'm gonna toss this filter on. Hopefully there's not too much crud in the tank. They put this fuel filter in such a convenient spot. Hey, it's pretty clean actually. I don't know if this battery works or not. We'll find out. Not bad, 4.8 volts. Gotta find a different battery. I think that might work. The terminals were too big or too small. It hasn't caught on fire yet, so I think I'm gonna turn the key and see what happens. Oh man, this bed sheet sucks. Do we got, what in the world? Oh, this is a real Rubik's Cube. No juice. Lights. Oh, we have lights. I think the battery's working. Check it out. It's snowing steering wheel. Maybe I can find neutral. That might be reverse. That might be neutral. I don't know. No. Nothing. It turns out I'm kind of an idiot. We have this push start button. So, let me get in this. It says starter right there. I'm guessing this is probably aftermarket. Let's see if we got anything. Okay. I'm gonna give it one more crank. Still sounds like the battery's a little weak. We got fuel in the filter. And it looks pretty clean. I might turn the jump starter on, pour some fuel in it, and see if we can't start a fire. I'm just gonna fill the float bowl, give it a crank, and see what happens. Way too much. Should have done that outside. I mean, that sounded pretty good. I'm gonna push it outside, get it idling, because I really want to see if the transmission works, because it's leaking a lot. And I remember the previous owner said something about the transmission. I don't remember what it was, but we're gonna find out. Take two on starting it. I want to see if we got oil pressure. Check the temp gauge, see if that works. Check the transmission, see if that works. And then go from there. Trying to start it, take dose. 1, 2. Oh, I don't have enough power. Darn. Jump starter it is. Connections are redid. Take 459. Here we go. All I have is an oil dummy light. I can't tell what that is. Amps. I'm assuming those don't work. What's that say? I don't know. I don't think any of the gauges work. Ooh. A lot of junk blowing off the motor. Man, I mean, I'm just gonna it's smoky. I'm just gonna toss it in gear and see if we even have anything. I have no brakes. Oh man. Should I go forward and hit the truck, or should I go reverse and hit the barn? Maybe e-brake on. Here's reverse. Nothing. Neutral. Drive. This is bellowing smoke. Whoo-wee. Almost seems like we're on fire, but we're not. Oh. It looks like we got 3 more fuel filters. It looks like they just ran 3 fuel lines up to that switch right there. That's the switch that's in the floor, on the floorboard. And then it's just like a 3-way valve. I think tomorrow's project is going to be figure out why everything is soaked in ATF. That is one flat leaf spring. It's completely on the bump stop. Wow. I'm gonna let this sit overnight and tackle that transmission in the morning. I don't really feel like doing it tonight. This thing is rough, but see you guys tomorrow. Welcome back to day 2 of working on this crusty Jeep. Last night when I was laying in bed, I realized there's no point in diagnosing the transmission if the motor's only running on hopes and dreams. So I'm just gonna spend the day and give it a tune-up and then do transmission next. I was just taking the accelerator pump off, and they had that spring in backwards. I'm pretty sure the spring goes that way. Yeah. I don't know if that'd make it run bad, but I know that's backwards. wanted to get it running tonight, but weather didn't permit us to. See you guys tomorrow. So last night I finished removing that aftermarket transmission oil cooler. It used to live right here and it was absolutely hideous. This has to go as well. But the previous owner, he thought these metal lines had cracked or had a hole in them, because he said I think last he drove it, it blew ATF all over the top of the hood. So I took these lines off and I cleaned them, and there's no signs of cracks or anything. I replaced his hose. I'm guessing it was this thing leaking. I didn't really pinpoint where or anything, but I don't know. I think it's just good that's removed. We got new spark plugs in it. Carburetor is rebuilt by me, so fingers crossed there. I think I'm just gonna start it. I've had the battery charging all night, so hopefully we don't have any more starter issues or anything. Well, let's check it out. I think the next plan of attack is to fix potential vacuum leaks. I'm sure that's not good. That booster hose is super dry rotted. I might just cut an inch off of that and put it back on. This hose is not ideal. This hose, on the other hand, it's used, but it's like brand new. I was looking for potential vacuum leaks, and I don't know if you can see or not, but behind the carb, there's a little nipple there that has no hose on it. I don't know what used to go there. I think I'm just gonna cap it and see if it runs better. I think I got all the vacuum leaks sealed off, and I can get it to run for about 20 seconds. I have a feeling that whoever rebuilt the carburetor, aka me, didn't adjust the float correctly, so I think it's flooding after a little bit. I'm gonna take the top off and see what we find. But before that, let's hear it run. 1, 2. So unless I'm jamming on the gas, it won't idle. I think it's getting too much fuel. Well, it looks right. Well, it's not the needle and seat. I'm just gonna adjust this a little more and see if that was it. It doesn't sound that happy. I'm gonna put a timing light on it, adjust a couple more things and see where we're at. It's not even to operating temperature yet. I just shut it off. And, well, actually it died, but I noticed there's a bunch of coolant shooting out somewhere. Oh, where are we at? So it looks like it's coming from the top of the intake manifold in there. But good news, I just got back from the auto parts store and they had almost everything. They didn't have a water pump or a water pump gasket. So I ordered those online, should be here in a couple days. It looks kind of gunky, so I'd want to change that too. But it looks like I got I gotta dig a little deeper. I think it's a bad water pump too. This thing is junk. Even with a pressure wash, this thing is absolutely filthy. It's been a couple days since I've worked on the Jeep. I had to wait for some parts to get in. I was waiting on the water pump and a couple gaskets. I think last we left off, I had taken the intake off. I got the water pump off. The downside of getting the water pump off is every bracket went through the water pump, through the timing chain cover, and into the block. So I hope with taking all these brackets off, I didn't mess up this gasket. Hopefully it's holding. I think we're gonna name this truck Toast. It looks like bread and it looks like toasted bread, so its new name is Toast. What do you guys think? I've had this hardware soaking for probably 2 days, but I got the valve cover soaking and the intake manifold soaking in there. Should be pretty clean. This is a mix of Purple Power, Dawn dish soap, a little bit of distilled vinegar, some other stuff. I just threw everything I had at it. That's a good looking color. I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's almost 2 a.m. I didn't get as far as I wanted to, but such is life. It turned out the water pump I got was slightly different from the water pump that was on it. Some of the holes where the bolts go on the new water pump, they stuck up more. So when I went to put this air conditioning bracket back on, I had to really modify it. I had to cut this giant section out to fit this part of the water pump. On the back side, I had to chop off a bunch of spacers that were welded to the back of it. Also, the idler pulley that went here, it is completely seized. See how it's rusty there? And it's just clean metal there. The belt was just sliding in there instead of this spinning and idling. So I gotta try and find one of those tomorrow. At this point, all I really got is carburetor. I gotta find a battery tomorrow. Put the fan back on, fan shroud, and just miscellaneous hoses, and I think we're ready to we're ready to see if it runs better this time. It seems like this is the first time anyone's done any maintenance on this Jeep. Everything is crusty and filthy and old, and everything looks original from 1971. So it's probably good I'm going through it. I'm going to hop online and see if I can find an idler pulley. I feel like that's probably one of the things that's going to hold me up tomorrow. And yeah, goal tomorrow, see if it runs. See you tomorrow. Good night. Pyro's totaled. He's wondering why we're up so late. I'm sorry, Pyro. Last night, this idler pulley had me a little worried, but I think we have good news. So the idler pulley that went here, which is now seized, it only runs with the AC compressor. So I don't need it to test and tune today. So that means we just got to do a little more assembly and we can see how it runs. And just like that, another day gone. Senior shop dog came out to supervise. I got pretty much everything assembled. I'm missing fan shroud, upper radiator hose, and I need a battery. Before it gets dark, I need to go pluck a battery from one of those projects out there. I think we found a winner. Almost 12 volts, and it's probably about 1.5 years old. And I have another one for next project. I can steal that battery too. I'm gonna see if this thing drives over to the shop so I don't have to carry it all that way. I'm lazy. Will it start? That's a lovely sound. I think it's about time. Here we go. Are we in park? I think so. Come on. Ooh. I just remembered I forgot to put the throttle spring on. That's why it wanted to idle up like that. You know, return springs are important. Where are you? There it is. How'd this thing go? I think we went here, there, and there. It kind of runs. I think I'm gonna leave it there for tonight and just test and tune tomorrow, and maybe we'll finally get to the transmission to see if that even works. And we are back working on toast. So last night when I got it running, I had found that the vacuum line that goes to the transmission was just open. So that could have been our vacuum leak. So I got every vacuum line blocked off. We're gonna start it. Hopefully set the timing, set the carb, and maybe we'll get it idling. I just gotta let it warm up now. It still runs like it has a vacuum leak, but I can't find it. It can't get enough fuel. It seems like a fuel delivery issue. And also we got a little coolant leak right there. Little pinhole. You guys keep an eye on that. See if the pump works. I mean, it seems like it's working, but could be a little weak. With additional poking around, I realized I was on the wrong tank. So when I first read this, it used to look like this. So I was adding fuel to the right tank because I thought this was pointing to the right tank. But that's incorrect. The point of the arrow is over here. So it was sucking from the left tank, which is empty. So now that we're on the right side of the tank, I cranked it a couple times and we had way more fuel pressure. It filled all the way up to there just with a couple pumps. So I'm gonna hook it back up and see if we have better fuel delivery. So I got a new inline filter to the right auxiliary tank, and just with a couple cranks on it, it's already filling up with gunk. I don't know if you can see or not. So those tanks are pretty rusty. I still think we have a fuel pump issue. I'm gonna see if I can get one and just replace it. Back to working on this Jeep, and I tried my hardest to tune this thing and time it and do all that good stuff, but I could not get it under 1200 RPMs without it dying. So I got a new carb. These things are kind of cheap. I think it's the eBay special, under $100. Got a new fuel pump. Those things never work, so I got an extra one just in case. And what's better than one spare is two spares. So we got 3 tries to see if we can get this idling. That thing leaks fluid, it won't idle. The choke is not that great. Whoever rebuilt it's terrible, aka me. And I think it's just time for a new one. The previous owner actually said he recommends the new carb because he thinks this one's warped. But, you know, we tried with the rebuild kit, the old dried out rebuild kit, but, you know, we just don't have that skill set. I also got this smoke machine just to reconfirm that I don't have any vacuum leaks. I tossed it on there, and I think we're pretty good on vacuum leaks. I got this one partially hooked up. I still gotta hook up the choke. This one's actually an electric choke. It actually has the option for the block heated one and 12 volt. So I'm just gonna crank on it and see if there's any obvious fuel leaks or obvious malfunctions that I gotta address. I found the problem on why it's not pumping fuel. I blocked off that line with the vice grip so it wasn't just draining all the fuel. And after I installed the pump, I forgot to take it off. So, I believe that's definitely it. So I think that base gasket is junk. It's all wet and I'm pretty sure the smoke was coming out here. And also, it turns out this is a choke assist. So I still need to hook up the original, what do you call it? An exhaust heater. It takes some of the exhaust and heats up the choke. But mine doesn't fit, so I gotta modify that a little bit. I'll probably still do a choke assist. I might have to cut a new base gasket. It came with this one, but in shipping, it got all creased. Or I could steal one from one of the other carb kits if they're any good. All right, making a little progress. It did sound pretty good. It sounded better than the last carb, even with that giant vacuum leak and the choke not opening. The base of the carburetors are a little different. So this gasket sealed the old carburetor, but on the new carburetor, it's a little different. This one's junk, but it's actually the best one of the two, or of the three. The other ones are all cracked and punctured, so I might just make a new couple gaskets. I can take this one off and replace it, but I can't use the old one because it's part of the housing. So I gotta find a way to make that work, maybe an adapter or just swap something out that works. So I cut the tip off, bored it out a little bit with the drill, and now it was the same thread. I just had to make room for the tip of this line, and now it fits in there, and we are golden. Ta-da. I also don't feel like making a new gasket right now. I'm gonna try that one and hopefully it works. If not, then I'll cut some new ones, but I'm just gonna take a chance on that one and see if we can get lucky. Did the smoke test. Base gasket is no longer smoking. I got the heater lines to the mechanical part of the choke. I'm not gonna worry about the 12 volts right now. I'm just gonna start it. I'm going to call that an absolute win. I haven't even timed it yet, and it's just purring. So we ran out of day again. I was gonna continue on to the brakes, but I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna celebrate this win and then probably do brakes tomorrow. I think today is the day we finally test drive it, hopefully. I had to steal one of the chokes off the other carburetors because this one wasn't opening properly. I gave it a quick time and it's running pretty good. So we got brakes, air cleaner, battery mount, a couple other miscellaneous things, and we'll hit the road. Tech tip of the day: after you're done going through a box of ammo, you can cut up the plastic and it makes a pretty good spark plug divider. Like so. I got bored last night and tossed some paint on this air cleaner too. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it yet, but at least it looks kind of nice. Brake time. So I got no brakes. I think I'm just gonna bleed them and fingers crossed, because if I have to get parts for these brake drums, I'm gonna have to wait a long time. But I live in the middle of nowhere, so even if I don't have brakes, I'm still going on a test drive. I'm just gonna see if a quick bleeding will fix it. So I got this one-way valve. It's supposed to make bleeding brakes really easy by yourself. Brake fluid comes out and nothing comes back in. So my plan here is going to be hook this to this line, cut this open a little bit, stick this in here, and then I should be able to bleed by myself. So here's the move. I got an elbow on there, feeding into the bottle. I'm gonna go step on the brakes and you guys tell me what happens. Super dry. Well, those hopefully gravity feed. I might as well take care of this e-brake. It has a bunch of slack in it. So if I can get these working and I can't get the actual brakes working, then I can just test drive it on the e-brake. It looks like I just have to tighten up this nut right here, and then it'll pull both cables tight, and I believe that should do it. I was tired of waiting for the gravity feed, so I put some vacuum on it. Whoa, where we at? I think my master cylinder is junk. I took the lines off. They go here. Stomped on the brakes a couple hundred times and no fluid came out. And it looks pretty rusty in there. This master cylinder is completely seized up, and this brake line right here, I don't know if you can see or not, but it's caked with rust. So that's gonna be a fun one. But I'm just gonna go on a test drive with no brakes. I adjusted the e-brake a little bit, and I just want to see if the transmission works. So, you know, I'm just gonna open the gate and hopefully I don't need the brakes too much. What are you doing, Paro? Pa? Good boy. So, I got everything screwed back on. I'm gonna start it, let it warm up, double check the transmission fluid. I haven't checked the rear end fluid or the front end fluid, but I'm not gonna go that far or that fast, so it should be all right. I just want to see a 1-2 shift, maybe even third gear, but that would be asking too much. We have no temp gauge, no fuel gauge, but we have this aftermarket oil pressure gauge. And we got some good oil pressure, that's not bad. We got a amp gauge. It says we're going about 13 miles an hour, even though we're not moved yet. I think we're ready. Moment of truth. No brakes. Oh, shoot. Shoot. That's neutral. That's drive. Haha, we're off. Oh, jeez. I forgot that the front leaf springs are on the bump stops already. That door's open. Did it die? Oh, we're still going. I can't see anything. Wow, this thing is not drivable. Alright, we got a little straightaway. I want to see if I can get into second. Here we go. This thing is absolutely terrible. It looks like the camper shell's loose too. I never even checked to see if that was bolted down. It's not shifting though. Manually shifted. Let's see. Can I stop someday? Okay. Neutral. Drive. Second. first. E-brake off. Let's see. No second. I don't know. Visibility's awesome. Speedometer wants to work. Oil pressure's still good. I can't see much though. This thing has no suspension at all. Wow. That was violent. Okay, this thing needs some work. The headliner is falling in under. My back. At least it's a nice sunset. There she is. The motor sounds good. I only have first gear. No brakes. No temp gauge. No suspension. No problem. This thing has a long way to go. Like I said before, this is going to be a 3-part series. We got the motor running. Next, I'm going to do interior so it's at least drivable. I'm going to put some gauges in it so I can see what the water temp's doing. And then we're going to lift it 4 inches, put nice tires on it, upgrade the suspension a little bit, get the brakes going. And see this mountain right here? It's the tallest mountain in southern Arizona. And the grand finale will be hopefully this thing can make it all the way up there. And maybe I'll even camp in this camper show. Probably not, because this thing's going in the trash. I think that's going to have to do it for this episode. I didn't test drive it the way I wanted to test drive it, but, you know, it's been sitting forever. So every piece of the truck has to be, you know, maintained or replaced or something. Next, we got interior and then exterior and then big mountain back there. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next one.